Okay, I just shot about a minute of video talking about masks in my other YouTube videos. I'm a fan of masks. I gave away most of my masks this past Halloween at a place where I worked. My favorite one's the V for Vendetta, the Guy Fawkes mask. But it's gone. That's gone. Homer Cocktail 13 is where I have most of my mask videos. I used to play a little guitar. I don't play so much anymore. They're building warehouses everywhere around here, and I'm in the process of moving to a house where my grandma used to live, and she passed away a few years ago, so it's in the family, and sooner or later they'll buy this place here and build a warehouse here. I was thinking about starting the AuthorTube channel. I already have a channel. It's youtube.com/BrickJane. Brick, just spell that regular, but Jane is Jayne. And that was one of my pseudonyms. And then I started writing with my regular name. And I have subscriptions to a handful of different authors. And I like these people a lot. I love their drive. I love their inspiration. Some of them are a little more traditional, with the traditionally published stuff. Some are aspiring. Some are self-published. And I've had ambitions, and I'm working on my 13th book right now. I've had ambitions since I was a little kid, and I wrote about it in an introduction for a re-release of my first 6 books. I explained in the introduction, I re-released them with my actual name instead of one of my pseudonyms. And I explained how I started. And every now and then you'll see like tags, right? Here's beer bottles. A guy I work with, after work, will go down to the local liquor store and drink a quart of beer, and then take off. But when I was a kid, about 4 or 5 years old, I used to get paper and fold them in half and then bind it with Scotch tape on the top and the bottom. And I wrote about a dog named Spot. I was just 5 years old. Over here in California, there used to be these commercials. And I got my inspiration from a couple of them, actually. There's this used car salesman named Cal Worthington. And he always had a dog named Spot. But sometimes the dog was actually a tiger. Or sometimes it was a llama or a camel. But it was never an actual dog. It's Cal Worthington and his dog named Spot. But my character... And I've never finished a book when I was a kid. When I was like 5 years old, I just bound, 10 papers together, folded them, and, went through like 4 or 5 panels and never finished them. But my inspiration came from back then, and, I had a dog named Spot, and I couldn't draw. But, that's where the inspiration started. And there was another commercial from Ames Home Loans. And there's this scrawny guy. You could probably check this out on the internet. Scrawny guy. And he always went around with a chicken. And he'd always get in trouble. Be a giant monster or something. Some giant 30, 40 foot monster about to try to kill him. So he'd go to the Yellow Pages, a book. And he'd call Ames Home Loan. Ames Home Loan to the Rescue was the theme song for this 30-second thing. And for some reason, in my little brain from back then, was like, oh, what's this thing? What's the Yellow Pages? It's a book. I want to do books. I want to make books, and that's kind of how it started. Then I wrote a short story when I was about 8 years old or whatever. You know, instead of a trip to Mars, it was Mars spelled backwards, a trip to Saram, and I sent it to my sister. And then I started reading Stephen King in high school. First book I read was Pet Sematary. Then I started getting these ideas, you know. Me and my best friend, who also read Stephen King, we'd go meet him. You know, we'd meet Stephen King, and he'd tell us all his secrets and stuff, and we'd roast marshmallows and have a couple of beers around some campfire out there in Maine. I eventually read about 17 Stephen King books. And I wrote my first novel in 2003. It was called Zoton. It was with a pseudonym. Then I wrote Tidal. Then I started on a book called Chagrin, and my hard drive crashed. And I was not able to save it. I still have the hard drive in this place right here. Then I wrote Anguish. Then I wrote Trampled. Then I wrote Exacerbation. Then I wrote Annihilation. And that was the end of that pseudonym. Then I didn't write for a few more years. Then I wrote Brick Jane as the pseudonym. Brick Jane was my new pseudonym. I wrote Thermite in 2013. Kiribati in 2017. Last year I wrote Cretans. And this year I'm working on a book called Blunder. So I'm just going to mention this, you know, up to date real quick. Is on the drive home here. If you're wondering about this place, by the way, it's been in my family for 4 decades, since I was a little toddler. My dad was an electrician, and you know, this is his shop, and you know, kept his tools, and nothing fancy, but the land values have gone through the roof because they decided to build all these warehouses. So I have a crashed hard drive in there, I have my laptop in there, and it's great for, you know, like a studio purposes. Very good for that reason. So anyhow, I watched these AuthorTube videos, and I thought to myself, I might start posting to my Brick Jane. I'm not sure. I might start posting my Brick Jane YouTube channel, which was meant to be my author channel. Most of my videos lately have been going up to Homer Cocktail 49. Believe it or not, when YouTube first started, you know, I figured I'd have a gardening channel and a cooking channel, and I'd learn foreign languages, and I actually have some of these channels actually, and I have music channels. I have multiple music channels. I was just going to characterize myself. It's just going to be some big joke, really, you know. And I was watching one AuthorTuber talk about how she hates 1 stars. She hates 1-star videos, you know, or not 1-star videos, but she hates when someone gives her a 1-star rating. She has many, you know, good ratings, and a 1-star rating really gets under her skin. At a certain point in my life, I stopped caring. I fall in love with villains, you know, which is, I have a Jason Voorhees mask, or I used to. I told you I gave away a lot of my masks. I like, the Guy Fawkes is not necessarily, he's supposed to be a hero actually, but with the Occupy protesters, they villainized, you know, the persona in the national news, etc. A lot of people did, at least. I gave away a Incredible Hulk mask on Halloween. I gave away a few masks. We just had fun at our work that day. But this girl, she said it got under her skin when she got 1-star reviews, and I thrive on it. You know, I thrive on, you know, you can't please them all the time, you know. Anyhow, this video is 10 minutes. I have a new phone. It's not hooked up to my network yet. That'll happen in a few days. But I wanted to film a video here. And I'm thinking about restarting a persona as an author. And this is fun to me. This is fun stuff, you know? Doing it in mask, alright? So, it's 10 minutes, I'm out.